Hey there, historians. This is your walkthrough of the American Revolution, Part 3, Strategies to Victory. This is your third and final part of the American Revolution lesson set. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to compare and contrast the Continental and the British armies and identify the factors that helped the colonists win the American Revolution. Reviewing what you should have already watched at this point, making sure that we have all of our information up to date through the American Revolution so we can prove that we can meet our learning target. We jump right into it with our instruction, the different war strategies. There's an audio file here that will read to you all of this information and additional information that you can find in your textbook. The Continental Army gains allies. Again, an audio file here, which gives you this information and additional information you can find in your textbook. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. Audio file where it will read to you this information and additional information that you're right, you will find in your textbook. When we jump into our activity slides this week, they do look similar to what we have been doing to this point. You need to identify the different war strategies the British used. Being on the offensive, identify at least 2 examples of an offensive tactic by the British. So here are your tactics over here, and then different war strategies. The Continental Army used a war strategy of being on the defensive. Identify at least 2 examples of a defensive tactic by the Continental Army. Drag those labels from the right and place them below. Then, after that, you need to identify at least 3 ways in which foreign allies helped the Patriots. Drag those labels from the right and place them below. So at least 3 ways out of this set of information. And then the Treaty of Paris. Identify 2 things the British agreed to in the Treaty of Paris. Drag those labels from the right and place them below. So 2 things that the British agreed to out of this set of information. And out of this set of information, which of these were allies the Continental Army gained? Now, your additional activity, you are going to need to create a historical marker. You need to create and insert a historical marker to commemorate factors that helped the colonists win the American Revolution. Your marker should include a title, a summary that explains at least 4 factors that helped the Patriots win the American Revolution, and drawings that illustrate the 4 factors described in your summary. So some of you may be choosing to do this digitally, to create this historical marker digitally, and some of you I know are going to draw it on a separate piece of paper, and then you're going to go insert image from camera, use your device, capture that image, and then insert it here. So what would be on a historical marker to commemorate the factors that helped the colonists win the American Revolution? Be creative and think about all of the information that you have gained over this last set of lessons that would be great on a historical marker to commemorate this major milestone in the history of the United States of America. And again, there are these same additional resources: background on the Declaration of Independence, additional information on the Revolutionary War, a great song to help you remember what you've learned. And if at this point you haven't checked out this website to work on some of these choices that needed to be made during the Revolutionary War, I really encourage you to do that. It's fascinating, it's interesting, and the background knowledge that you've learned in your 3 previous lessons really can help you to make wise decisions, especially when it comes to the tactics you need to use in order to be able to help the Patriots win this war. So you'll make a historical marker. You will identify those key elements for each of the strategies and for each of the allies in the Treaty of Paris, because when everything is done, your goal over these 3 lessons that you're proving today is you can compare and contrast the Continental and British armies and you can identify the factors that helped the colonists win the American Revolution. Keep up the great work, historians.